I'm calling in the creator to the CEO who crave creating community and cash to create it like a boss. With me, Katrina Julia, as your host, multi-passionate entrepreneur, creator, and CEO who has walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and continues to, with experience in 7+ industries, 7,000 plus creators and startups, to creators to Fortune 500 brands, including Google, NBC, Victoria's Secret, and more. If you are ready to create it like never before, in faith, wellness, wealth, marketing, business, travel, and more, this is the show for you. If this is your time to have freedom in all forms as you create it like a boss, let's create it. Welcome to my Creator CEO Confessions from your Creator CEO bestie or your BFF. This is absolutely my intention, whether you connect with me on the podcast, on the blog, my YouTube channel, freebies, social media, in the courses, in the community, in the retreats, or working with me one-on-one or via a brand. So in the Created Creations and in the Creator CEO Confessions, I share things from faith to wellness, to wealth, to marketing, to business, to travel, to community, and sharing real talk and hashtag behind the scenes of a creator CEO. Because also, let's face it, if you are listening to this, there is a huge chance that hearing the words niche, niching down, settling down, focusing on one thing is very triggering to you and makes you feel like, in effect, you are also in a prison in a sort. Now, others love that, thrive in that, elevate in that. But then there are those of us like me that have recognized from a very early and young age that, in fact, it is quite the opposite for us. Like, I can go back to years in college, to years in high school, to elementary, that in fact, my performance and my purpose thrives when I am challenged in multiple directions. Case in point, one of my favorite memories is actually when I was in college, in undergrad. I was taking 18 hours in actual classes, as far as 6 different classes live. Then I was taking an additional 9 hours or 3 courses correspondence. I had straight A's. And I was working 20 to 30 hours at a credit union as a financial services rep. And I was kicking ass and taking names in results and relationships compared to those even that were working 40, 50 plus hours a week. I was president and co-founder of Millennium Models, an amazing nonprofit organization with 2 incredible women, Janelle and Angela, that became my best friends and years-long friendships. Janelle, you've likely or possibly heard me talk about her on the show. She passed away and she is now my angel in heaven and many of our angels in heaven. I also was Secretary of Student Government Association, Vice President of Program Council, and completely reformulated the structure, got the student executive board to approve $100,000 budget for the first time ever, not to mention other research projects, other scholarship applications, other leadership. And yes, I had a social life. Yes, I dated. Yes, I partied. In fact, many times I would stay on campus till 2 a.m. on Thursday nights to then drive to go to work at 8 a.m. and barely get 2-3 hours of sleep. So you can see how the common thread was excelling and thriving in the midst of all that. And yes, I took time to rest. Yes, I took time with my family and my mom and my dad and so much more. So if that evokes excitement for you and that evokes amazing memories for you, this is the place for you. And I find myself now in similar situations in a completely different realm of things that I once wrote down as vision, from traveling the world to recording this podcast right now in my Airbnb, looking down over an incredible pool, to yesterday spending an incredible day at the Grand Palace, dressing up like a princess Thai. Like a princess in Thailand, to visiting Wat Arun, to watching the view of the sunset of Wat Arun, eating delicious tam tam coconut soup with sea bass, to this morning focusing on aligned launches with sharing creator confessions, the created events, 7+ social media posts that are 10x and repurposed automatically, interacting and scaling with my VA, submitting 2 incredible projects on Kajabi for ongoing B2B work, reaching out to incredible Bali properties for retreats, and more. So, in today's episode, I am diving deep into February and reflecting on February so that I learn and you learn moving forward. And you know you are not alone, and everything and anything is possible for you with faith, with hope, with love, with co creation, because you do have a part. Stop giving away your power to where you don't have a part in co creating your life and co creating what is calling your soul in every way, shape, or form. Not to mention, you guys, I also want to point out, like, one of my 7 core values is freedom. And as I co-create with brands and placements and sponsors, and as I co-create with retreats and then online with media and courses, I integrate freely tips, tools, and tech with wellness like Herbalife Nutrition, marketing, business, travel. Definitely check out my 75+ tips, tools, and tech. Because the thing is that you want to remember, and has taken me a lifetime to learn. Don't let people who don't believe they are worthy to influence and impact what you believe you are worthy of. Be very mindful of the voices and the spirits that you allow to project into your life, influence who you become and what you create. So I fell into, and for February, in unfathomable ways, I started my month in February in Egypt in a beautiful condo with Askena Homes, with Osman Ahmad and Kana, his wife, as the owners and creators. They both own and manage over 80 properties between Dubai and Egypt, and had such an incredible experience. Like, the day I checked in, he happened to be visiting to oversee the building project of 29 plus apartments. And he took me on a tour all around Sal Hashish, which is an incredible neighborhood and resort properties in Hurghada. We grabbed a coffee, and just the welcome and the team there is so amazing, from Ehab to Ahmar to Radwa, and so many incredible people that I got to meet and interact with in countless ways. I experienced diving in the Red Sea. Someone pinched me. This is my second time in Egypt. I'll be sharing even more on my top 10 things to do in Egypt. My first time was a mommy and me trip that I shared on my last episode, also a bit, with the pyramids and the photo shoot. And I promised myself I would return back. And I did. I also experienced desert adventures for the first time, including a quad ride, an ATV on my Fun Friday, one of my Fun Fridays, a spa day on Valentine's Day at a Hammam. I explored Luxor for the second time in my life. The first time I went with my mom in June in the middle of 40 plus Celsius / 100 plus degree super dry heat, where we felt like we were baking in an oven. So needless to say, experiencing that in February was quite a welcome reprieve. Its Lexer is known as the world's largest open air museum in the world. I also shared about it recently on my Instagram at Katrina Julia Fit. And then a photo shoot at the pyramids in Giza, one of the wonders of the world. Someone pinch me with Egypt eye. There's also quite a bit on my stories about it. And then I'll also be sharing coming up even more on my Instagram reels this week and next at Katrina Julia Fit. I left Egypt at the end of the month and landed in Thailand, my 38th or 39th plus country. I've got to go back to my list. It's one of the two. I continue to exponentially increase alignment all month with elevated energy, two priorities with people and profits. And you guys, pro tip, I am time tracking my time over 90% of the time on a time tracking tracker that I ended up getting through Time Genius with Marie Forleo. I did have what I call being fully transparent and humble and open, so you don't think I am 100% at all every single day. I did have what I call down/dark days, February 27th through the 29th. And I think part of it was shifting so much energy, elevating up and clearing some limiting beliefs, lies. And then also after the week before, having a 7-hour bus trip from Hurghada to Cairo, which was incredibly luxurious. Honestly, you guys, it was a double-decker bus. AC, the best and most luxurious bus I've ever been on around the world. And then also my womanly time. I completed Damaged and Not Destroyed by Michael Todd in February, Worthy by Jada Pinkett Smith, and 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. I completed almost 3,000 minutes of workouts starting 2024, tracked on the Peloton workout app. If you didn't know yet, or this is your first time tuning in with me, my word for 2024 is worthy. And I started implementing words since 2018 of reading the book, Get One Word. And my alignment, abundance, and action is absolutely elevated this year compared to last year or previous years. And then at the same time, I reached about 1.2 million in aligned business to business proposals. I definitely saw increases in conversion. I aligned B2B to C launches, including over 7 shows, over 25 plus social media posts that are also repurposed 10, 20, 100 fold across ChatGPT, across Opus Clip AI, across repurpose.io, across joint reels, and a lot more. And that is a lot of what I teach at our global Creators Go Global retreats and in my Creator to Cash course and Creator to CMO course that also integrates tips, tools, and tech with wellness, wealth, business, and travel. You can definitely check out the free toolkits in the link at bit.ly/create it like a boss. If you are not on my email list, friends, definitely sign up because I share these creator CEO confessions and a lot more juiciness and goodness exclusively on the email list. I joined Brand Meets Creators and almost completed the pitch challenge in February. So the other thing is, I, of course, invite you and encourage you to create it with me in the community. At the same time, I always share transparently and openly how I invest and how I'm in programs from B School now going into the 3rd year, social curators going into the 2nd plus year, Boss Babe in the past, Unstoppable in the past with Bethany Hamilton, the Soul Surfer, strategic coach, Herbalife nutrition for years, and so much more. And I heavily believe in constantly learning. And then anytime I take on free content, I also imagine that I've paid thousands to millions of dollars because I know that that person has also invested and or had results to that level. So I don't take that for granted. And that's been a huge shift for me in countless ways. I delegated over 10 tasks to a VA, freeing up my time further. Freedom is one of my 7 core values that I live my life by now for years. I'll be sharing a YouTube video coming up on that as well. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel at Limitless Global Girl, definitely do that. So in completing my Vision 2024 on the blog, on the show, on my YouTube channel, I identified 3 core top priorities for 2024. So in past years, when I did my vision post, it was a lot more involved and a lot more extensive. And I realized walking into 2024 that I was like, wait a minute. Let me condense this and let me amplify this focus. Let me simplify to amplify this focus even more. And with that, my first focus is creating and receiving $300,000 or more for 2024 with 3 core priorities of business to business slash one-on-one creator to CEO, CMO work with either brands, placements, and or sponsors. 2 with retreats and co-living, and 3 with creator to CEO online experiences. And you guys, with that, my focus on pitching brands directly, my focus on retreats and creating opportunities with retreats for creators and also brands to create and integrate content, and then also to use all of that to create content on YouTube, on social media, on email, and then into courses is so much more clear and so much more scaled. And then on top of that, my second goal, which I've already exceeded and it's already on track, is to visit 12 countries minimum in 2024. And this year so far, I've been blessed to explore Cyprus, Egypt, and now in Thailand. Likely Bali is next. So I'm amazed and in awe and wonder. Then the third one is to scale 10x, which I'm already 10x scaling between AI, chat GPT, repurpose tools, and my VA. So that's already being exceeded. So the next one that I'm aiming for is to exceed the aligned income goals, which also integrate different goals with different aspects of that, like certain number of people in the one-on-ones to the retreats to the courses, like certain levels within Herbalife, like World Team and Active World Team. And then along those veins, I completed over 25 emails in February, over 2 blogs, including top 10 Cyprus things to do. If you're curious about Cyprus, the beautiful island south of Turkey and north of Africa, definitely check that out. 10 plus shows, 25 plus social media posts, and more. Spiritually, so I stayed consistent in Bible reading and listening to prayers and affirmations in my own voice. I have filmed over 3 videos on a Bible at the Beach series on my YouTube channel with features from Egypt that integrate stories from Joseph and Genesis. Physically, I talked about this a bit earlier on reaching 3,000 plus minutes of workouts with bands, boxing. I did a lot of walks to and from the beach and maintaining daily aligned action with Herbalife and food. Financially, I increased focus on new, now, and overflow in February. My cash flow this year is 1,100% over this time last year, and I am so grateful. I have dived deep into under earners and debtors anonymous. I finally, you guys, after decades of overspending, have literally completely shifted into consistently spending significantly less than what I'm receiving. And I am so proud of myself. And I'm so amazed, you guys, at the blind spots that we have and that tie into our things that we saw growing up or our lack of worthiness and so much more. I completed steps 5 of 12 from Under Earners and Debtors Anonymous, another habit that I took on from things that I observed in childhood that I thought was normal was just automatically integrating living off debt so much, like being fully transparent. And for the first time ever, my debt is radically decreasing with ease. Like it's not my go to anymore. And just as a whole, like I chose to travel again full time for several reasons. One, I realized how the cost of living in the United States, in, whether it's Atlanta, Los Angeles, Houston, Miami, so many cities around the world has astronomically increased. One, I realized also I had a choice whether to stay to experience another winter or to travel with adventure, embrace the unknown. Sometimes travel for free with free stays, make money to travel when I'm paid for content like with UGC or content creation or chief marketing officer work. And then, even worst case scenario, on average, I don't spend more than $800 a month in incredible Airbnbs, you guys, because pro tip, many hosts with Airbnbs, when you stay a week, 2 weeks, or a month, give you up to 30 to 50% off. And that's including Wi Fi, that's including electricity, that's including your gym, and so much more. I completed the Financial Fix workbook by Joyce Meyer. I completed my financial budget for the month and estimates for 2+ months out. And what's crazy in this journey, you guys, as a CPA and as someone that shifted from corporate to calling and has her MBA and CPA and helped others make 6 to 8 figures consistently year over year, that no matter the external evidence I had for years that I was worthy and capable, I didn't believe it internally for myself. So I would innately self sabotage. I would innately tell these stories. And then as I've shifted, as I've transformed, as I've dug deep with prayer, with EFT, with breath work, with journaling, this continues to shift. So no matter where you are in that trajectory, I invite you to continue to create it. And you may love my 6 pack of wealth, and definitely check out my binge worthy series on the podcast. And if you want to see me face to face, on my YouTube channel with the 75 plus tips, tools, and tech, where I talk a lot about this. And also the detailed tips, tools, and tech are also on the blog in the link in the show notes, via bit.ly/create it like a boss. I am focusing on increasing influence, impact, while being more of me and doing less, which is a whole completely transformational shift. Like, I take fun Fridays now. I have dream Saturdays. I often take half or a full day on Wednesdays. And that helps me also astronomically focus my time and attention on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays as well. And that's not all, folks. It's all about being a human being. So, mentally to playfully, you've heard me talk quite a bit on a lot of this already. I spent a lot of time in sunshine and almost daily walks to the beach with diving and desert adventures. I went to a hammam. I went to Luxor on a Friday. I went to Cairo and Giza, but that was into Cairo and Giza into the end of February. I learned so much through Epic Fab Girl, EFT with Cassandra Bodzak, Marie Forleo with Time Genius, Breathwork with Samantha Skelly, Cash Flow with Jamie C. and the Wealthy Woman Bundle, Social Curator with Jasmine Star, plus the books I already mentioned. So, looking to create it with creators and CEOs who crave creating community and cash to create it like a boss, definitely check out my Creator to Cash free toolkit. Check out my Creators Go Global retreats and the Creator to CMO toolkit as well. So let's create it. And this is my reminder to you to remember that create, transform, and inspire, because you are born to. Leave a review on the show so that other creators and CEOs who crave creating get to create it too. And tag me on social media at Katrina Julia Fit, at Fit Life Creation, at Create It Today, so I can reshare and you get entered into a monthly giveaway for Create It Monthly. and chats on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and travel so you create a life and business you already. Head on over to the blog, the podcast, and the freebies to jumpstart your transformation. If you're ready to dive into the online courses, the live events, or the retreat, and if you want to create with our community on an even deeper level, definitely check out our internships, our influencer collaborations, management, and brand engagement. Let's create it.